30 Disney and Pixar movies. Every round starts with a hard clue worth 3 points. If you need clue 2, score 2 points. Clue 3 is worth 1. Lock in your answer before the reveal, keep your own total, and see if you can reach the maximum score of 90. A diplomatic crisis begins when one ruler's untreated anxiety becomes a regional weather event. Two estranged sisters race to reverse a permanent winter caused during a coronation. A talking snowman dreams about experiencing summer. The answer is Frozen. Score 3 points if you got it from clue 1, 2 from clue 2, and 1 from clue 3. A succession dispute becomes an ecological collapse after the heir accepts blame for a death he did not cause. A runaway royal returns to challenge the uncle who murdered his father. His best friends are a meerkat and a warthog. That movie is The Lion King. An aging lawman becomes jealous and tries to eliminate a newcomer over the love of a child. A child's longtime favorite fears replacement by a delusional space traveler. A cowboy and a space ranger escape a destructive neighbor. It was Toy Story. An overprotective father crosses an ocean to retrieve his son from a glass prison run by well-meaning amateurs. A forgetful traveler helps search for a child taken by a diver. The missing son is a young clownfish. The answer is Finding Nemo. A hostage is tasked with rehabilitating a violent recluse whom the rest of the world abandoned. A cursed household hopes its captive guest can restore everyone's humanity. A magical rose and an enormous library help change her mind. That movie is Beauty and the Beast. A broke con man builds a royal identity to pursue someone far above his social class. A street thief uses 3 wishes to impersonate a prince. A blue magical prisoner promises a whole new world. It was Aladdin. A teenager signs away her voice to cross a biological border for someone she saw once. A sea ruler's daughter bargains with a tentacled witch to become human. A nervous crab insists life is better under the sea. The answer is The Little Mermaid. A royal kidnapping is disguised as protective parenting until the victim recruits a wanted thief. A woman with magical hair escapes her tower to investigate floating lanterns. A frying pan and a tiny chameleon become surprisingly effective weapons. That movie is Tangled. An island supply crisis sends a future leader across the ocean with the man who caused it. A chief's daughter must return a stolen heart, with help from a disgraced demigod. The ocean chooses a wayfinder whose rooster is terrible at navigation. It was Moana. An energy company powered by fear faces disruption when a supposedly toxic resource enters the factory. 2 employees hide a human child while exposing a corporate conspiracy. A one-eyed assistant works beside a huge blue professional scarer. The answer is Monsters, Inc. 10 movies down. The maximum score so far is 30. Add up your points, then get ready for the next 10. A family in forced retirement resumes illegal work after a former admirer creates a private defense market. A superhero family battles a rejected fan who manufactured his own emergencies. The mother stretches, the son runs, and the baby is a wild card. That movie is The Incredibles. A celebrity athlete is sentenced to community service in the dying town he helped damage. A race car stranded on an old highway learns that winning is not everything. His closest new friend is a rusty tow truck. It was Cars. An undocumented kitchen worker secretly controls a less talented employee and transforms an elite restaurant. A rat cooks in Paris by pulling a garbage boy's hair. One bowl of vegetables sends a feared critic back to childhood. The answer is Ratatouille. A grieving widower converts his home into an aircraft and accidentally abducts a child. Thousands of balloons carry a house towards South America. A talking dog repeatedly loses focus whenever he sees a squirrel. That movie is Up. A daughter commits identity fraud and joins the military to protect an injured parent. Disguised as a man, she helps stop an invasion with advice from a tiny dragon. She struggles to recognize the person in her reflection. It was Mulan. An unpaid domestic worker uses a temporary makeover to enter high society before the evidence disappears. A stranger searches an entire kingdom using one abandoned glass shoe. Helpful mice turn household scraps into formal wear. The answer is Cinderella. A gifted dynasty scapegoats its only ordinary child, while the family home develops structural symptoms. A magical family hides both its cracking house and an exiled uncle. Everyone insists they do not talk about Bruno. That movie is Encanto. A rookie officer and a career fraud uncover a conspiracy built on manufactured biological panic. A rabbit police officer recruits a fox con artist to solve missing animal cases. Predators across a modern animal city are mysteriously turning savage. It was Zootopia. A grieving child adopts a fugitive bioweapon while social services evaluate her remaining family. An escaped alien experiment hides in Hawaii by pretending to be a dog. Elvis records become part of the creature's rehabilitation plan. The answer is Lilo and Stitch. An essential worker abandons his assigned role, causing an infrastructure crisis in pursuit of validation. An arcade villain enters other games because he wants a hero's medal. A candy-colored racing game is hiding its rightful champion. That movie is Wreck-It Ralph. 20 movies complete. The maximum score so far is 60. The final 10 include some deeper cuts, so protect that score. An entrepreneur's financing plan is derailed by kissing an amphibian with fraudulent royal credentials. A hardworking waitress becomes a frog during a supernatural night in New Orleans. A trumpet-playing alligator helps two frogs reach a voodoo priestess. It was The Princess and the Frog. An abducted heir raised outside his family enters a celebrity hero market to reclaim his status. The son of a thunder god trains with a cynical satyr to prove he belongs. A blue-flamed ruler of the underworld treats murder like a business transaction. The answer is Hercules. An ageless boy recruits 3 siblings for an unsupervised flight into an active territorial conflict. A pirate captain fears both a flying child and the crocodile that swallowed his hand. A tiny fairy's dust makes the children fly. That movie is Peter Pan. A fashion magnate commissions a mass abduction because ordinary fabric cannot satisfy her design brief. A citywide network of animals searches for a stolen litter of puppies. The final head count reaches 101 spotted dogs. It was 101 Dalmatians. A sanitation worker falls for a reconnaissance unit and forces a sedentary colony to revisit its abandoned home. A lonely robot discovers a plant and follows a sleek visitor into space. A tiny trash compactor collects objects and watches an old musical. The answer is WALL-E. A child violates a family ban, commits cemetery theft, and enters the afterlife to dispute an inherited legacy. A young musician visits the land of the dead during a Mexican family holiday. The song Remember Me preserves a fading connection across generations. That movie is Coco. A relocation crisis is managed by 5 competing officials inside a child's cognition. Joy and sadness become stranded while their 11-year-old host struggles in a new city. An imaginary friend named Bing Bong helps them return to headquarters. It was Inside Out. A bereaved teenager weaponizes a healthcare companion and recruits a science club to pursue a masked executive. A young inventor upgrades an inflatable medical robot into armored equipment. The story takes place in the hybrid city of San Francisco. The answer is Big Hero 6. An autocrat transformed into livestock must depend on the homeowner he planned to displace. A fired advisor turns a selfish ruler into a llama and attempts to seize power. A cheerful henchman is famously uncertain about which lever to pull. That movie is The Emperor's New Groove. A troubled teenager joins a privately funded expedition led by a mentor concealing a mutiny. A spherical map guides sailing ships across space toward a legendary fortune. The young hero befriends a cyborg cook named Long John Silver. It was Treasure Planet. That is all 30 movies. A score from 70 to 90 makes you a Disney movie legend. 50 to 69 is animation expert territory. 30 to 49 makes you a solid movie buff. Below 30 means your next movie night is already planned. Tell me your score and which movie got you in the comments.